Minister Hutchings, thank you for appearing in the Ray Chamber today. We know that mental health challenges affect people of all ages, education, income levels, and culture. In any given year, 1 in 5 Canadians will personally experience a mental health problem or illness. We also know that rural communities often have issues accessing many services, including healthcare. In many cases, mental health-related services and supports in rural communities are less comprehensive, less available, and less accessible than in urban areas. Certainly, I look at issues from an agriculture and rural lens, and with that, I'd like to take the opportunity to highlight the fact that according to statistics from the Ontario branch of the Canadian Mental Health Association, 68% of farmers are more susceptible to the general population to chronic stress, which can lead to physical and mental illnesses. 58% of farmers meet the classifications for anxiety. 45% of farmers report high stress. Many Canadians work in agriculture and adjacent sectors.
Seconds.
So, Minister, can you highlight what steps your government has taken to address the lack of access to mental health services in rural Canada?
Senator Black, that's an amazing question, and it follows on your colleague's question as well. It's interesting, too. One of the roundtables that I've done was with agriculture sector, and they brought that specific thing up, right? It's been challenging times. You know, they've seen floods, they've seen droughts, and it's interesting, in the hurricane that hit in my riding, the mental health supports that were needed there at that time to get people through the shock of seeing 100-foot waves. And the province did a great job of transporting people from major centres into the rural centres. But that was an awakening, too, of how this needs to be addressed in rural Canada. Sadly, often it takes a disaster or a catastrophe for us to work on the issues. I can tell you I talk regularly with Minister Bennett on how we address this. I had a great chat when I was in rural Manitoba earlier this year and sat down with a group of kids whose specialty in their high schooling and their post-secondary school of how we address the rural issues of mental care. It's on my radar, sir. I'll continue to work with Minister Bennett, and I'll keep you posted as our progress, and I'll support you any way I can.